when I was younger, I got made fun of for my speech impediment. So like the fact that I'm doing a podcast is kind of wild right now.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Um,
but every time I get on here, bro, I risk stuttering. I risk not being able to say what I want to say. I risk not being able to get my point across. You risk
hey,
that every
let's
time you have a
let's be honest.
conversation with
You took a risk, doing this podcast.
yeah,
You know, I mean, not a lot of people are willing to do that. Not a lot of people have that confidence in themselves that they think that, hey, I'm going to look stupid if I go do a podcast, you know? And that's a
yeah,
stupid thing to think about yourself. You know what I mean? You got to have
yeah,
confidence. Or, I mean, for instance, Joe Rogan, I mean, I know he kind of came up through fighting and stuff like that. But, if he would have never taken that risk and quit fighting. I was actually listening to, an episode the other day. I think it was him and Dave Chappelle. It was
okay,
his Dave Chappelle episode, and he was kind of talking about his upcoming and how when he started, he was into comedy, but he was a fighter. In the beginning, he was a fighter, and he really stopped the whole fighting thing when he really messed somebody up in a fight. He knocked him out, and they got he just didn't like it. He didn't like it. And he's like, I mean, I got to do something other than this. And switching to a podcast was a huge risk, because I mean, he was making his money fighting, and
yeah,
just to out of the blue stop that, go and start doing a podcast. When I mean, at the time, he really wasn't that famous, but I mean, look at him now. He's got the number one podcast in the world, I think, at least on
yeah.
Spotify.